are paying the right party, we can help. Our initial consultations are free of charge. We are not attorneys. We are legal researchers and work closely with experienced lawyers who know how to help you find the evidence to help you keep your home. Call toll-free 1-855-2-KEEP-IT. That's 1-855-2-KEEP-IT today.
Did you know that you can be tracked and traced when you're online? With identity theft and cybercrimes on the rise, your passwords, your identity, and even your physical location can be revealed to complete strangers. Would you like to surf the internet anonymously and not have to worry about these threats? Well, now you can by visiting patriotinternet.com. For about $2 per month, patriotinternet.com will conceal your IP address and your physical location, allowing you to browse the web, send emails, and instant message anonymously. patriotinternet.com will bypass filters, block sites, and keyword blocking. You can also bypass logging by your router and your ISP. With patriotinternet.com, there is no software to install and uses 128-bit encryption for your protection. When using wireless hotspots, patriotinternet.com shields your information from identity thieves and is compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. Protect your identity and your freedom with anonymous internet access from patriotinternet.com. Visit patriotinternet.com today.
Don't regret growing old. It's a privilege denied to many. Heart disease is taking our youth from us. Young people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond are dying needlessly. One of the hardest messages I've ever had to deliver is to convince people that something natural like Extendivite should be taken as a preventative measure. I'm sure you heard an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Extendivite is that ounce. Take Extendivite for 1 year and see what your doctor has to say and how much better you feel. Herbs take time to address the problem. It took years of life to have a problem. Give Extendivite 1 year to fix the problem. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or visit us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
What Really Happened with your host, Mike Rivero. Visit us online at whatreallyhappened.com. Here is your host, Michael Rivero.
And welcome back to our show here. And finally, Lady Claire, take it away.
I will. This is a very real story. It happened to us this morning. And I wanted to share it with you. There is a phrase from the Latin, caveat emptor, buyer beware. And one of the places you really have to look at that these days is with prices for pharmaceuticals. Now, we have kind of a neighborhood pharmacy, and it's not like 5 minutes away from the home, but it's the closest of what it is.
Yes.
Okay. And there has been a medication I've been prescribed by my doctor, who is absolutely great. And now I turn 71 next month, but sometimes age brings issues: brittle bones, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, this kind of stuff. Now, I was supposed to get a 3-month supply when I came to pick up Mike and my medication. And what I discovered, now this medication is called Resedronate sodium. Resedronate sodium, easy for me to say, at this pharmacy. And they were about to hand me 3 boxes. It's a total of 12 pills. And the price that they gave me on these pills had me absolutely sputtering. Guys, $276 for 12 pills once a week. And those of you in the audience, our listeners and our viewers, know this, okay? Well, I finally got my lower jaw up off the floor because that's how much it threw me. It had been 180, which I thought, what is the reason? It's not like they're mining this stuff. It's not titanium.
Just it had gone up $80 just since the last time
in 90
refilled
days.
it. Yes.
Yeah. And so I thought, I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to get even. So I took 1 box, and that was over $100. And I started doing some research. And what I found was that there is a big box store. I'm not going to name the store. Do your due diligence. And if you are a member and you have pharmacy privileges, The 90-day supply at this big box store was going to cost me about $29. Let me say that again. $29, which is a saving from the pharmacy company of $247 for a 90-day supply.
I think we're justified in naming the pharmacy in the big box store.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
The pharmacy was CVS.
CVS Caremark. So what I have done, what I'm going to be doing, I'm sending 2 letters, one to the entire management team of CVS Caremark and one to my family physician and letting her know. Now, I'm going to be sending this certified with a return receipt. I don't even know if I'm going to get a receipt back, but I think people need to know that we, the consumers, know this. I really do. And we're lucky. We're not in a situation in this little family of 2 where we, have to choose between food and desperately needed medication. And guys, this medication is great because what it prevents is bone loss and bone breakage. And there apparently, in going to my bone guy last week, he said, Claire, a lot of it has to do with heritage. I'm Northern European. A lot of people who are not Northern European don't get this stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't wish it on anyone I didn't like. But when your pharmacy brings up a price in like 90 days, I asked them and I had a smile on my face. And I know it's not the fault of the pharmacy people over there. They're very nice and they're very efficient in what they do. And I said, I know it's not your fault, but I am guessing if Costco is able to make a profit at $29 for 90 days, this medication is not that expensive.
No, it isn't. Most
Yeah.
aren't. The markups are just obscene here.
Yeah.
And when we were on Oahu, we noticed the same thing with Sam's Club,
Oh, yeah.
that it was a lot cheaper to get our prescription medications there
Oh, yeah.
than at the CVS that we had down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really do need to shop around. You need to take advantage
Mhm.
of all these little apps there, the Prescription RX, or
Yeah.
what's the one that Martin
Good RX.
Good RX,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
the one that Martin Sheen is pitching right
Yes.
now,
Yeah.
because you can be taken for quite a ride here. And unfortunately, when you get to the AGE, where you are being given a
Mhm.
lot of prescriptions,
Yeah.
I take my morning pills, with a ladle, well, there we are. And
Yeah. But extension of life and having quality of life remain in your life. And if you do need these medications when you get older, which obviously I do, um, I think it is grossly unfair for those companies that are marking up for their retirement parachutes, or I don't know how much these people at CVS make on the executive team.
well, now we know how CVS is able to go on out and buy up all the small mom and pop drugstores
Oh, yeah.
because remember, ours was a Save-On before CVS came in.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
came on in and just gobbled it up, and the
Yeah.
prices on everything went through the roof.
Skyrocketed. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm saying to anyone who is my age or maybe a little older on
Or even younger.
even younger, yeah, who is taking some of these medications, please shop around. We're going to go down tomorrow and we are going to become
Costco members.
Costco people.
Yep.
And I'm going to talk with a pharmacist over there and I'm going to say, we live where we are and you're up here. And
It is a bit of a drive, unfortunately.
it's a bit of a drive, but you know something, even with the gas, it's an incredible bargain and that membership is going to pay for itself. They have tiered memberships from 60 to 120, and some of the tiered memberships will allow you cash back on things like travel. It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And there is another situation I want us to look at. Mike, did you cover the fact that the U.S.-backed rebels in Syria have pretty much defected now to the Syrian
We
army?
covered that one yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent all of your tax money went
Yes.
to train, arm, and equip these so-called Syrian-friendly rebels, and
Yes.
now they've basically deserted and they've
Yeah.
joined Assad.
Yeah, and not only that, but they told the Assad military people that they had been trained to blow up Syrian oil wells.
Yes.
Guys, I would like to think of a time in my life when the U.S. was not committing war crimes. And,
Well, it seems like they've been doing it all along.
yeah, when was there a time in this country when the U.S. was not committing war crimes all over the world, Mike?
Not when we've been alive.
No.
When we've been alive for a while.
Yeah. And I must tell you, in my case, my wake-up call, Vietnam. I don't know about you.
Yes, that was my wake-up call.
And it was, what are we doing? And do these people not have a right to govern their country in the way that they want?
No, they've
and-
got to run their country the way we, the United States, wants. That's manifest destiny.
And the thing I can't understand also about it, we are now trading with Vietnam, but we're not trading with Cuba. What's going on there?
Well, the United States knows how to keep a grudge, and they've been keeping a grudge against Cuba ever since the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, it seems to me absolutely ridiculous. And I wish we had more trade. I wish we had more trade in terms of, in terms of student exchanges. I think that would be very educational for both us and for people from other countries. More cooperation, more trade, not more sanctions. Oh, speaking of sanctions, we have just dumped another set on Venezuela. And Pompeo is saying to the Venezuelan government, if there is a transitional government, you don't have a right to resist. Well, the people in this country take their history, they know their history, and they take it very seriously. And my concern is that if we do try to go in with this transitional government, Mike, the Venezuelan people are going to resist. They're going to protest. This is going to be our next Afghanistan. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would like, I'd like your thoughts on that.
Well, again, the United States is going on in. They want to control Venezuela. They want to control Venezuela's oil.
Yeah.
They want to control what currency it's being sold for around the world.
Yeah.
This is the same reason we went into Iraq. It's the same reason we went into Libya.
Yep.
And it's just more U.S. foreign intervention and adventurism.
Uh-huh.
But we're not doing very well. I mean,
Nope.
we're getting, our box cleaned by a bunch of goat herders in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We have not exactly won in Syria.
No.
Iraq wants us to leave.
And Mike, I think there's a point here that I think we need to make. Who won the war in Iraq? Was it the US? Or, I'd like a drum roll, please. Okay. Actually, China has won that.
Yes.
And they are going to start developing oil in Iraq. Oil for development. Now, the U.S. is not terribly happy about that, but what are they going to do? Go to war against China? I think one of our earlier callers said that would be a really horrific call to make.
It would be a bad thing.
Yeah, we can't outproduce them on the weapons. They still can script. So if we're behind the 8-ball, if you will, technologically, and in terms of a troop strength that can compete, I don't know what the odds are in terms of the U.S. bringing back the draft, but I think we are not that far away from it. I wonder what the odds makers in Vegas are saying.
I don't know, but I do know that if they bring back the draft in this country, there will be a negative reaction because I think the American people are sick and tired of war. We actually have a caller waiting on the line right now, Glenn in Philadelphia. Hello, Glenn. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Hello, Mike. Hello, Claire.
Hello.
I was listening to what you were saying about the prescription pricing, and the pharmacies also fill veterinary prescriptions and stuff. And I was, as you often say, gobsmacked when my pharmacy wanted to charge me $42 for 11 terbutaline tablets for my asthmatic cat.
Okay.
And it turns out, and now on Newsmax TV, you often see advertisements for the service called GoodRx.
Yes.
They have a phone app, and that's the thing. And what that that comparison contrast shops medications for you so you can pick the cheapest place to go.
Yes.
And when I objected at the CVS counter getting my this terbutaline, the woman at the counter was able to tap away on the keyboard for a few minutes and pull up a GoodRx price for me that was $11 cheaper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even the pharmacies themselves can sometimes pull this stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was no
So,
interest in that this morning.
No, and we had seen CVS use GoodRx once before
Yeah.
on one of our other prescriptions, but on this one, the price was definitely firm.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And-
And this medication I'm using for my cat is ancient and dirt cheap. I mean, it's a bronchodilator, for God's sake. It's nothing.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing with this medication, which is now, it's generic. It's not even proprietary anymore.
Yes.
It's been around for a while and it does a good job. And I do want my doctor and I do want all the senior management team at CVS to know that I know. I think it's
Right.
important. And my only conjecture is very probably there is some collusion with some of these people whose names I'm not going to name on radio, but they'll be getting the letter.
Yes.
That there has been a collusion to price fix when, again, it's not like you're mining for something somewhere exotic and those mines are going to dry up at some point in time, as they will with Tanzanite, because there is only a specific place in Tanzania where you can get this stuff.
Yes.
But we need awareness out there. And I don't want any American to have to choose between a meal and their meds. That's, and
Right.
you could say that, well, you were not bright enough, you were not intelligent enough to make sure that these contingencies were taken care of. No, the compassionate part of me, and I said, I'm very much a capitalist. We have to find ways that people don't have to choose in this country for whatever reason. At least that's
Right.
my.
And the answer isn't necessarily, and the answer doesn't have to be communism either, or single payer.
Yeah.
Because then you just have a different tyrant running things.
Yes, I know. I hear you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
The markup on retail, a cup of retail coffee from a convenience store used to be around like 400%.
Mhm.
And I imagine what the markup is on bottled water, where the water per gallon is more expensive than the gasoline you put in your car. And those things seem like highway robbery. But when you look at I would love to know a cost analysis, what it costs the manufacturers to make these pharmaceuticals. I'm sure we're well above 400% on the markups that we're seeing. So.
Oh, it must be, because look, at Costco, if they can sell this drug at $29 and make a bit of a profit, hello, what does it have to be manufactured for?
They might even be loss leading to get people to come into their stores, which fine if that's what they want to do. But I mean, the idea is we basically get the medicine for what? Close to 10% of what, CVS wanted to charge you.
Yeah.
The $5 roasted chicken is the chief loss leader.
Okay, I think you're probably right on that for when you just don't have any patience to cook.
Yes.
Yeah, I love to cook because I know what went into the food that we were eating. And what I wish people would pay more attention to is some slow cooking.
Yes.
Because slow cooking can give you tender results.
From very inexpensive cuts of meat.
Yeah. You don't have to have a steak. Look, for example, at cordon. Well, I'm thinking of beef bourguignon. That, you don't have to have either expensive wine to cook it with. You don't have to have an expensive cut of beef. And at the end of the day, look how brilliant that tastes when it's done right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and there's a handy tip for when we finally end up in the zombie land scenario.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes, slow cook the zombies.
No. No.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Claire. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for sharing your story. I think that's important. This really is.
All right. Listen, we're going to start with Brian in Pennsylvania, but
Mhm.
Brian, we're coming up on a commercial break and I'm going to have to take you through it, but you can go ahead and start. What do you want to talk about?
Mike, can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. You're on the air.
I just want to apologize to Claire. I called in I think about 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and I didn't realize that the show was as far along as it was, and I kind of cut Claire off, I think, a little bit. So I want to apologize to her to start with.
No worries.
All right. Well, listen, stay on the line.
Yes.
Stay on the line. We got to do a commercial break and then we'll come back to your phone call after these few words.
Tired of being lied to by mass media? It's growing more and more apparent today that news is received less and less through standard media outlets. Even with a growing audience every day, RBN is beginning to direct more efforts into social media. Social media and the use of the internet is fast becoming the primary source of people for news, regardless of demographic. RBN has set out to provide some of the best news on the internet through republicbroadcasting.org, and also has begun to use the tools to our advantage by way of social media. Republic Broadcasting is now operating a Facebook page to function as yet another avenue to have our collective voice reach new audiences across not only America, but across the globe as well. The Facebook page features not only news, but also an RBN player to listen to our broadcasts. Get involved by visiting facebook.com/Republic Broadcasting and liking our page and share it with your friends and family, because you can handle the truth.
It happens more often than we can imagine. In my case, I was sitting at home, and out of nowhere, I just started feeling uncomfortable. Then it got worse, and I started perspiring. I tried to ignore it, but I waited too long. The chest pain came as we were driving to the hospital emergency. I felt my life clock begin to tick. I barely survived. There was lots of damage done to my heart. What do I do now? I was lucky. I took a leap of faith and tried a 7-herb formula with hawthorn, garlic, cayenne, and more called Extendivite. Herbs have been used for thousands of years to keep us healthy. If you're not using Extendivite as a preventative supplement, maybe it's time to start. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Is the Second Amendment your line in the sand? Is the United States Constitution important to you? Are you worried about gun confiscation? You need to join us for free at gunconfiscation.com. At gunconfiscation.com, you will meet like-minded patriots, get the latest Second Amendment news, and find anything you need to prepare for gun confiscation. Visit gunconfiscation.com today. That's gunconfiscation.com. Which side are you on?
Talk Right, the conservative app offered by TalkStream Live that caters exclusively to the conservative talk radio community. Here you'll see only talk shows and podcasts from the conservative right, all the big broadcast names and online digital shows in one place. Talk Right makes it easy to find all your favorite conservative talkers with all the upscale features you come to expect from TalkStream Live. Keep up with the fast-paced political world. Download Talk Right today from Google Play or the App Store.
When all this twisted steel was swept away, did these remaining holes reveal what's really happened?
And welcome back to our show. Last segment of our program on this Powhana Friday. We're talking with Brian in Pennsylvania. And Brian, just take it away.
Can you hear me okay, Mike?
Yes, you're on the air.
Okay. My thing I wanted to comment that I don't really hear too many people talking about is like the mental health side of this pandemic and how being labeled as non-essential. Like,
yes.
To me, that sounds a lot like back in Nazi Germany where it was called a useless eater. Like, and I just see that similarity, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
And
well, that was George Bush who said useless eater, and I think in Nazi Germany it was Untermenschen, the underhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I listened to an audiobook of The White Rose and something else. I can't remember. There was a second part to it, but it was a really good book. It was because it was a story about a little girl who was basically going to kill herself, and she found an American soldier that parachuted in. And it was a really fantastic book. I wish it was the White Rose and something else. I just can't remember what the name of the other thing is. But they talked about how the little girl's brother was mentally handicapped, and they got rid of him basically. And I know that I know America would never go that far, but I forget one of the people that I listened to was talking about how suicide hotlines, their numbers have been like exploding, and like people calling in, and people that have been sober for like decades, and all of a sudden now they have nothing to do, and they're falling back into alcoholism and domestic violence and everything, and everybody's like gleefully like, yay, lock the system down, lock it down. It's like, well, what happens when all these people like people that feel like they're no longer important? What if they all start killing themselves? Like, is that going to be classified as a coronavirus death, or are we going to take the mental health
at this point they've
aspect of
decided Jeffrey Epstein died of coronavirus.
There you go. It seems like everybody's too gleefully wanting the system to just shut down. And like me, I love working. Like, that's like my favorite thing in life is to go to work. Like, if I could work 90 hours a week, I'd work 90 hours a week. And now that like I have a part-time job as a donation delivery person for a thrift store, but I own a small landscaping business, and over the summer I walk, like I actually walk about 20 miles a day.
That's good.
Just mowing grass, because I actually am also a disabled vet, and the doctors don't believe me, but walking, I have no pain when I walk. But standing still and sitting, I actually get massive pain because everything just locks up.
Yeah.
I actually don't mow with a zero turn or anything like that. I actually just have a little 30-inch mower, and every yard, no matter how big it is, I mow with a walk behind. And some of my yards are an acre and a half.
Wow. But you're returning to the earth. You're making the earth happy, and that's I can't imagine that I can imagine that would make you feel good.
Yeah, and I love mowing grass. I love working. And yeah, take it easy, Mike. You have a great weekend. You too, Claire.
Thank you.
All right, thanks an awful lot. Stay tuned for John Stedmiller. I'm sure he's got lots of interesting things to share with you. Please spread the word of RBN. Please spread the word of whatreallyhappened.com. Please donate. We need your help. Don't forget the front site promotional. Lifetime Commander membership for a $500 donation. By the way, Sheriff Mack is going to be on with John Stedmiller immediately following this program. We'll be back on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Oh, yeah.